Tupac. Give me your head, say I'm a new pop. All around the world. I was broke last year, but I had to switch it up. $1 million later, now they mad I switch it up. She went tryna fuck, now she tryna give it up. Flooded up my chain with some Porsche, switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, was rocking European, but I had to switch it up. Now I make my own drip, your bitch lick it up. Now I'm on my own dick, I had to switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, add it up, stack it up, rack it up, back it up. That's enough, switch it up. Got a new spot, this one too hot. Took a few shots, like I'm Tupac. She a old head, say she new pop. Give me your head, say I'm a new pop. All around the world, it's the same song. Never seen your girl last year, but I had to switch it up. $1 million later, now they mad I switch it up. She went tryna fuck, now she tryna give it up. Flooded up my chain with some Porsche, switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, was rocking European, but I had to switch it up. Now I make my own drip, your bitch lick it up. Now I'm on my own dick, I had to switch it up, Shit is crazy, I'm so wavy, that's why they hate me. But they can't stop me, they can copy me. I'm an anomaly, switching up the whip, flipping up the script. Never giving up, always getting up. Had to make a promise, we gon' live it up. Best to ever do it, they gon' mention us. I ain't tryna chill, cause we ain't rich enough. Say she had the weed, so we lit it up. Always smoke her out, so we switched it up. Went to natural from the weed, had to switch it up. She the only one I need, had to switch it up. I was broke last year, but I had to switch it up. $1 million later, now they mad I switch it up. She went tryna fuck, now she tryna give it up. Flooded on my chain with some Porsche, switch it up, little nigga. Switch it up, was rocking European, but I had to switch it up. Now I'm in my own drip, your bitch lick it up. Now I'm on my own dick, I had to switch it up.
Nobody's gonna love me like you do. It's your voodoo, and I'm so amazed. Resurrect me from my grave. You love me, I'm your slave, but that's what you do. We can not be in love. No boundaries, you love surrounding me. It's not a game, but I win it all because I got you. It's all about you, yeah. Be not ashamed, cause I love everything about you. I'm attuned to you. We can not be in love. No boundaries, you love surrounding me.
Needle in the haystack, you found me. Balanced on my chakras, I'm grounded, I'm locked on my lockers. Astounded by what love can do when I'm loving you.
No boundaries, your love surrounding me. 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 I'm just a magician, looking for some loving. Hoping you'll give me a chance. I wanna join your coven. We can do a ritual to marry you, everything mystical. You mind if I lick you slow? Without you, I've been miserable. I guess I need some company. I need my women crush Wednesday humping me. Call your girlfriends, now they jumping me. Open his portals, guess it's up to me. Manifestation, have your way with me, goddess. I submit to your grace. Set your intentions. You can do it all while sitting on my face.
They ain't rooting for me, they ain't clapping for me. I'm only saying, can somebody just be happy for me? I really hate to say I told you so, so I bite my tongue, but you know.
Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now. Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective, peace for y'all. Thank y'all for joining me this wonderful Monday morning. This is another edition of Hood in the Morning, and today we're going to talk about 7 spiritual truths that everybody on this journey must understand, understand, overstand. When we do not understand our metaphysical principles, we do not know how to build spiritually. We can always get a tool, get some wood, get a hammer. If we don't have the proper instructions, we not going to build the proper home. So what I want to do is help y'all with some proper spiritual instruction. So get your pen, get your paper, open your mind, and understand some things. The inside creates the outside. If y'all can hear me, if y'all understand what I'm talking about, please press a 1 in the chat. The inside creates the outside, and we look at our external world, our life, our memories, our thoughts, our emotions. All of that is the outside trying to make its way in, because the inside, our soul, our spiritual truth, is our perfection. One's in the chat, if you are perfect at a spiritual level. This is the metaphysical principle I want to bring to y'all today, man. I just been kind of chilling, bicking back, being boo, not really chilling, working very hard with our businesses, with my family, with my children, working out, things of that nature, just trying to be the best version of myself that I possibly can be, because I have a little baby on the way. So with that happens, I tend to put my life into overdrive and really try to make sure that when this baby is born, they're seeing their father in the best light possible. So I want to just bring awareness to what I got going on the underside of things. The links in the description. On my Substack, I'm doing something I might say that is basically amazing. Really tying in the metaphysics and money. I'm dropping articles every day, every other day, and the articles is basically specific to metaphysics and money. And the conversation that I'm going to have with y'all is a metaphysical conversation, a foundational conversation. And what brought this conversation about is the work that I've been doing on the Substack. For as little as $5 a month, you can get access to these articles that I've been dropping every day, every other day. I'm not giving this information away for free because I value this information, and Spirit is basically saying if people don't value the information that you put forth, it is all good in the hood. We gonna talk shit on these YouTubes, and that's all gravy. But if you want to get into the work, if you want to get into the science, if you want to get into the science of the inside, creating the outside, the perfection aspect of yourself, creating the perfect life for yourself, because we've already done it the opposite way. We've already beat ourselves up. We've already been flawed. We've already spent our money at the strip club. We've already spent our money on bullshit, spiritual things. We've already wasted all of our money, wasted all of our time. I went to Florida. Shout out to the SAU. Shout out to Spirit Doula. Shout out to Letitia. Shout out to Ariel. Shout out to Idra. Shout out to the whole SAU family. Sister Myra, Queenie. Shout out to everybody down there. But when I went down there, man, it made me really think about myself, who I am, and what I need to begin to do. Because I really went to Florida and realizes that I want to make major changes in my life. One's in the chat if you want to make major changes in your life. One's in the chat if you're not afraid to say that you ready to make the major changes in your life and you ready to quit bullshitting with your overall circumstances and results that you get out of life. I'm done with the 50-50 ball. I'm done with, okay, I'll take my losses. I'm done with that type energy. I'm down to make significant positive changes in my life. And Spirit said you got to deal with the metaphysics of it all. You got to get down to the bare bones basics. So first things first, we going to get our money in order. We going to get our love in order. Because after we get to the metaphysics and money, we going straight into the tantra. Join the Substack because I'm dropping articles every day, every other day. And I'm not just shooting from the hip. I'm researching. I got a wide knowledge base. And I'm bringing information that's like, I'm using this information to the reason why I'm going so hard is because I'm benefiting off of this shit first and foremost, period, point blank. I'm going to tell y'all the things that I'm utilizing to increase my finances. I've been doing this metaphysics and money series, and my money has, it's not to say my money has doubled, tripled, or no shit like that, but my money has improved when I started meditating and fixating on the metaphysical principles, period, point blank. Ain't nothing around it, ain't nothing up it, ain't nothing down it. Hey, when I started fixating on the metaphysical principles in relation to my money, my financial situation is starting to improve, period. So if you want your financial situation to improve for as little as $5 a month, and now I'm not saying join the Substack, automatically your money get to improve. We not on that level. But if you implement and utilize the metaphysical principles that's being laid out that I haven't created, but are just facts of the universal structure of the atomic structure of who we are as spiritual beings, and just relying on that and understanding the ways in which in the world that we live in, man, it's so powerful. I'm having nothing but revelation on top of revelation on revelation. So join the Substack to, experience that revelation with me. I've been doing a lot of readings, and when I'm doing readings, the thing that I've been coming up is shadow work. And when I'm talking about shadow work, I'm talking about the uncovering of your anima and animus, because your anima and your animus is your masculine and feminine principle, and that's your God force energy, period, point blank. We have been fed an illusion. We have been fed lies. A lot of y'all wake up and think that y'all are women. A lot of y'all wake up and think that y'all are men. But it's time for y'all to wake up and realize that you are gods. One in the chat. I've been going for a minute. I'm fired up. I'm turned up. I'm ready to go. One's in the chat if you ready to go. Fuck this. You understand what I'm saying? A little bit of empowerment goes a long way. A little bit of support goes a long way. The information on who you are as a spiritual being, it is fucking time to take this shit seriously. You are not a man. You are not a woman. You are a god. You are masculine and feminine. Now, to tap into the flow, that's how it's going to go. So, I've been doing a lot of healing lately, man. I've been doing a lot of healing, and that healing comes in working with my anima, developing a strong relationship with my anima. And I'm going to tell y'all one thing for sure, two things for certain. I was loving women like I was loving my anima. Some of the women, y'all probably love y'all man like y'all should be loving y'all animus. And we got to really get into the science of self-love at a spiritual level by doing shadow work as we are resonating and vibrating to the energy of Chiron, those traumas and triggers that rise to the surface. What you going to do about them? You just going to be afraid of them? You going to hope that they don't get, stepped on or activated? Or you going to face that shit, begin to journal, begin to process this shit? As the Hood Mystic, hoodmystic.com, columbianexchange.com, we are known for providing the tools to help people do shadow work. Now, does the book do shadow work for you? No. Do the courses do shadow work for you? No. Your ass gonna have to realize and recognize your traumas and triggers. I was having a conversation the other day with somebody that was complaining about some shit. Y'all ever had a conversation with somebody that was complaining about some shit and you listening to them complain and you taking it all in and you don't want to be insensitive, but then I came to them and said, well, have you been grounding lately? Have you been doing your root chakra work? Have you been balancing your sacral chakra? No? So you mean to tell me, you my friend, my name Kyrie Anthony, I put out books called Chakra Nova, not to pat myself on the back, but the facts is the facts. And in those books is an instructional manual on how to ground, how to balance your sacral chakra, how to activate your solar plexus chakra, how to live in your heart chakra, how to resonate from your throat chakra, how to see images from your third eye, how to be a realized spiritual being by activating your Sahasrara, your crown chakra. But yet and still you niggas want to sit here and complain, but you ain't doing no chakra work. Man, get your ass to Columbian Exchange, get the damn book bundle, get Chakra Nova, get the Chakra Nova journal, do something. But once again, I gotta be clear with y'all. Buying the books is not doing the work for y'all. Signing up for shit is not doing the work. You gotta be able to face your bullshit. You gotta be able to face your facts of separation. Because as we lay out these 7 spiritual laws, it ain't like they go and just skip your ass. One of the problems with the spiritual journey and trying to communicate the spiritual journey is that people think they are the exception for the rule, the exception from the rules, but for all the wrong reasons. When it comes to some lower level thinking, it's like we all one, right? When we talk about racism, racism affects everybody, right? Everybody is affected by racism, right? And then when we start talking about the higher spiritual laws, you start to be like, well, you know, I don't even think I resonate with being connected to the all. I don't even think I really understand what it means to be whole. I don't even know what it means to be authentic. What you said, we all one? How is we all one and I feel so separate from everybody and I want to be alone all the time? How is we all one? It don't make sense. Yeah, it's time for us to get some healing, right? And if you not clear on what the anima is, you're not clear on what the animus is, please refer to my previous videos on the channel where we go through the anima and animus extensively. One's in the chat if we go through the anima and animus extensively on this channel. One's on the chat. You got to watch old videos. It's imperative. Once again, my ass stay busy as hell, going back and forth to and fro, so I'm not always able to do these videos. But what I would say is that in my community, I'm the man. I'm the man. No, for real, it's really about this healing that's happening with these psychedelics and these mushrooms, man. I can't really explain it. I can't put my finger on it. But every time I think it's low and behold, something just come out of the surface and it's just awakening me to some things. I've been doing my doses. I've been doing my micro doses. I did a whole lecture on it down at the SAU. That was really healing for me because I was able to do a lot of things. They say mushrooms communicate. And, you know, to stand on that stage and talk to those groups of people, it really awakens within me. It's like, man, this is what I want to do, right? I feel comfortable on that stage. I feel very myself when I'm in front of people and talking about the things that I'm very passionate about. Psychedelics, the transformation that psychedelics has had on my life, from the range of communicating, from the range of being able to work out, getting my life together, getting my mind together, speaking my truth, the ability to manifest, all of these particular things in reference to the magical healing of psychedelics. I feel sorry for you if you live in this matrix and not tapped into the psychedelic understanding of life. Anon, they is on the way. They already in the mail. They should be to you soon, my guy. So yeah, let's get into this conversation. Thank y'all for jigga. I'm the Hood Mystic, representing hoodmystic.com, columbianexchange.com, White Rabbit Psych, to name a few. And today I want to talk about 7 spiritual truths that everyone must know. Okay? And when we get to these truths, understand that we are not taught these things at school. We are not taught these things in college. When we talk to our friends and family, these spiritual truths are not the main thing of a conversation. So, what I hope we can begin to do is meditate and fixate on these spiritual truths, get some sort of realization of who we are as a spiritual being, and live in this spiritual world as spiritual beings by adhering to spiritual laws which represent our spiritual truth. The contrary to this is just being a low level human being, baby mama, baby daddy, going to college, going to school, going to your job, back and forth to your job, things of that nature. We are elevating above and beyond that way of thinking. In order to elevate, you have to adhere to spiritual principles. Now, what's the problem in this? The problem occurs is that we are on the internet with the spirituality. So you might have like spiritual questions and spiritual hopes and dreams, and your answers is basically based upon the algorithm. So it's a lot of people who don't even have access to my content just because I don't fall into their particular algorithm. I look at a lot of the spiritual channels that was around when I was coming up. Those spiritual channels don't even exist. Like I was Googling Masterly Foolish the other day. He don't even got a channel no more, right? It's like the spiritual thing, a lot of people don't really want the truth to get out, right? So if you hear right now in this present time is actually a miracle, right? It's not even a thing that even possible if you really start to think about it. So as we begin to understand that spirituality is not a result of just tapping into stuff, watching things, having a circle. It's about having a specific metaphysical understanding, a specific principle that this is how you live your life. This is how you see the world because it's based upon truth. And so one of those first spiritual truths, and I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing it, but I'm going to try it anyway, is called Hylozoism. So how to spell that? Hylozoism. 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 Hylozoism is a word that means that in all things, there in the tiniest atom, there exists the largest galaxy. All matter is alive. This is what Hylozoism means. When you think about this, this means that regardless if you see spirit in it or not, spirit is in the thing. Source is in the thing, the inanimate object, the trash, the house, the car, the person, the bug. Everything encompasses, has the largest aspect of source. Now, the reason that many people bypass this spiritual truth is because we can't really fathom what this life is. Nobody is born into the world. Nobody is born into the world being told exactly what this world is. We basically have to take everyone's word for it. So if we're not told that everything is a result of a living organism and everything surrounding us is alive, our thoughts are alive, our emotions are alive, this container is alive, everything around us is alive, then we sit in a world of separation. And that separation is what is like the death or the decay or the misunderstandings of the world around us, because we might look at everything around us and say, well, this is inanimate. This has no source in it. I don't know where God is. I can't imagine what God is. I don't know what spirit is. I don't know what source is. I don't know what the soul is. Well, the reality is that everything around you has been created by you. And you have to meditate on this. You have to fixate on it because 10 times out of 10 is probably some shit around you that you don't like. And because you don't like it, you created it, you won't fixate and even understand your power as a creator. So, as a creator, as a spiritual being, you exist as an energy within inside of the body. You are consciousness. You are non physical. You are a spiritual reality that is very old and very ancient. Your body and your body consciousness is something that comes and goes. Within the body is the soul. And the soul is related to the greatest galaxy, the ultimate of all perfection. And when we are not taught this, and we are not understanding this, and we are not projecting this on the world around us, we probably can't really fathom how everything around us is a result of life, as a result of spirit, as a result of source. We tend to condemn and hate our circumstances and situations, not because they're inherently bad, because we are not able to see the true source. So, Hylozoism is a hard concept to wrap your mind around. Give me 1 second. Hylozoism is a hard concept to wrap your mind around, mainly because we haven't been really taught it. So, the main thing that it benefits you if you can begin to meditate and fixate on source being into everything is that as you begin to create and manifest your life, you will begin to project what you see on the inside, on the external. And this is true manifestation. The issue tends to be we're looking at things outside of us without even understanding how they were created and just simply wishing and wanting for those same things in our lives. However, that is a ill way of getting what we want. The easiest, most sincere spiritual way is to begin to reflect and meditate and fixate on your spiritual perfection that exists within you in this moment. It's very important to understand that internally, spiritually, you are not your mistakes. You are not your flaws. You are not your ignorance. You are not any of those things. You are a perfect spiritual being. One's in the chat if you can meditate and fixate on that. Even deeper, put it in the chat. I am, you are a perfect spiritual being. This is a spiritual truth that you must understand. If you do not understand that you are a perfect spiritual being, your manifestations, your love, your finances, everything is going to be fucking amok because you are perfect. So the opposite of perfect is flawed. There's no reason to be flawed when you have access to perfection. You are a perfect spiritual being. You are connected to the one. You are connected to the all. We need to work very hard to fight against our separation because our separation is flawed. Our connection is perfect. Our connection to source is perfect, and we must meditate and fixate on these ideas. It's very simple. It is not complicated. However, people will beat your ears up with complicated mumbo jumbo, but the reality is if you can meditate and fixate on your spiritual perfection, and understand it to be a spiritual truth, when the rough gets rough and the tough gets tough, you can always rely and reflect on this specific spiritual truth called Hylozoism. Right? And this is all tantric understanding. Tantra is taken from tattvas and mantra. Tattvas is spiritual and mantras is the word. So when you look at tantra, it's not necessarily sex, it's more of speaking forward with the God force energy. And the reason why it could be related to sex, because there is nothing more intimate than two people speaking in truth to one another. There is nothing more intimate, because yes, she looks good. Yes, she has a BBL. Yes, those leggings look sexy. Yes, her toes are done. Yes, her lace front is silky and wavy. Yes, her makeup is flawless. But 10 times out of 10, that motherfucker's gonna lie to you, man. Yes, he look good. Yes, he's 6'4". Yes, he have a 14-inch penis. Yes, he have $500,000 in the bank. Yes, he have a nice car. But that motherfucker gonna lie to you, man. So you be very lucky, you be very spiritual if you could just find a person that's willing to tell you the motherfucking truth. Cause that's gonna be the hardest thing you ever find in this goddamn life. The most intimate thing that you ever gonna experience is a person telling you the truth. And you telling them the truth. That's why Tantra is equated to sex. Because the truth is sexy. The truth is goddamn, the truth should make you horny. They also say the truth shall make you free. So another aspect that we want to bring to our spiritual truth understanding. Give me 1 second. Let me get it in order so we can read it. So now, as a spiritual truth, we are into the realms of microcosm, macrocosm, being in a continuum or series of strings that does not separate us from the all, but connects us to the all. So if we don't understand, overstand, and understand the spiritual truths that govern our spiritual beingness, we will be outside of the truth. And what is outside of the truth? A lie. What is the problem with the lie? Well, if I tell you that this key opens the door and it's a lie, guess what's going to happen? I'm not going to open the door. So you damn right you're going to be hitting your head along the spiritual journey listening to these niggas. You're not going to be able to open the door because guess what? What I've learned even before I was spiritual is that a pair of lips will say anything. Ones in the chat, a pair of lips will say any fucking thing. And 10 times out of 10, a pair of lips is more likely to lie than tell the truth. So in reference to the spiritual journey, motherfuckers is more prone to lie to you. I was looking at my subscriptions on YouTube, and I don't be watching videos all the time, but I just was like, let me watch this goddamn Dolo the Pilot Man video last night. I'm like, what the fuck is being said here? I'm lost in the sauce, right? I don't know what be happening with these spiritual people. They be sounding crazy as fuck. Ones in the chat, or am I crazy? Do I be sounding crazy? I for sure can sound crazy, but y'all niggas gonna have to pull me to the side like Kyrie. You know, in that last video, you sounded crazy as hell, right? What the fuck was you talking about? I didn't understand what you was talking about. Y'all gotta pull me to the side and let me know. Because if I don't know, then I don't know. I'm trying to be succinct. I'm trying to be clear. I'm not trying to confuse y'all niggas in reference to this spiritual journey. I'm not even trying to be deep. I wasn't even going to do this video, but Spirit pushed me to do this video and explain these 7 spiritual truths and said some people need this information. So do the video with your truest sincerity and your truest clarity. And if I sound crazy, I sound crazy. But let's get into the second spiritual truth. One's in the chat, if these spiritual people be sounding crazy and you don't know what the fuck they be talking about. They be going in and out of consciousness on their goddamn live stream. For what? For the fuck what? Okay? So, we're in the realms of microcosm, macrocosm. And these next few spiritual truths will inundate this point. And it's very important to understand as a spiritual truth that you are connected to the earth. Like you breathe, the earth breathes. Like you eat, the earth eats. Like you waste, the earth wastes. We are a living system that mimics the earth. All things live within a body. So us as human beings are not autonomous, independent figures that just exist for no reason. And it's very important to understand this because y'all will be trying to be aestheticians. Y'all will be trying to get a job at the Piggly Wiggly. Y'all will be doing twerking classes. Y'all will be doing a whole bunch of irrelevant shit because you feel that you are an independent, autonomous energy. But let me open you up to an actual fact that you haven't actually been paying attention to. You live in a living system. You are a living system. You got lungs, heart, goddamn colon, semicolon, right? Hood, what's a semicolon? You know what I'm talking about. Large intestine, small intestine. You got a reproductive system, a circulatory system. You got a lot of shit going on with inside of yourself that if you began to pay attention to it, I'm going to be real with y'all. When you get your health in order, you get your life in order. Why? Because the inside creates the outside. And a lot of y'all going to be struggling eating the goddamn beef, eating the fucking chicken, eating the fucking pork. Talking about this shit tastes so damn good. This shit tastes so good. And that's like, you know, it's crazy. I'm not even going to say what it's like, but just understand when you take care of your body, when you take care of your mind, when you take care of your heart, when you breathe, when you start having the type of sex that you're supposed to be having, when you start really tapping into the higher levels of pleasure, Kama Sutra, all of these particular things, your manifestations will become in reference to how you live in your life internally. When you just out here living random, y'all on goddamn dating apps, delete them damn dating apps. Let spirit begin to work through your life. Delete them damn Instagram DMs. Stop answering a nigga's DMs. He don't know if your damn booty stink. You would be on there, you know you got some shit going on with you. You know this nigga don't know what's going on with you. Stop entertaining these niggas. They don't know no better. Let these niggas go, right? Start dealing with your internals for all that it's worth. For the greatest level that you can begin to get with it. Because at the end of the day, why are y'all so lax with yourself? Why are y'all not paying yourself the attention that you need internally? Because the thing is, you think you separate, independent, and autonomous and free to do whatever the fuck you please. But it's a such thing called maintenance. And I'm going to tell you what, when you begin to feel better about yourself, when you begin to feel better about your reality, so it begins to work in that's what it is. The same way if you go into a nice place on the earth. You ever been somewhere where motherfuckers is taking care of shit? Motherfuckers is taking care of shit and it look like people taking care of shit. You feel more comfortable if you at a hotel and you know they taking care of the hotel. Have you ever been in a hotel where motherfuckers ain't taking care of the hotel? You don't want to stay there long, do you? You want to leave. So think about your soul in your body. Think about a soul in a body that's being taken care of. The soul is more comfortable and wants to stay inside of that body. Think about the body that's not being taken care of. Well, the soul is like, man, what's the point? Let me get up out of this motherfucker. One's in the chat if that makes sense. Taking care of yourself is a spiritual truth. Taking care of yourself internally, understanding that you are connected to source, being connected to source, let you know that your body, this is why heart, Heart, and earth, Earth, have the same lettering, because they are microcosms within a macrocosm, and this is a spiritual truth. You are a universe. You, are a galaxy. You are made in the image of God, Goddess, and this is a spiritual truth. You are as powerful as a galaxy with cellular energies that replicate, clone themselves, have sex with each other, have cellular babies. It's a lot going on inside of you. You are very powerful when you begin to meditate and fixate simply on your universal placement in the actual universal gamut. Now you saying, well, what is my purpose? What is the reason that I exist? When you begin to ask yourself these questions, source begins to answer you. The issue is we're not asking ourselves those questions. We're just saying, I need to get up and I got to go to work. I need to get up and I need to go to school. I need to do this. I need to go here. I need to be with her. How many times y'all been with a stinking ass girl or a stinking ass boy and felt like you had to be with they stinking ass? One's in the chat. And then, even though you wanted this person so bad, you never even realized that, damn, maybe spirit was doing me a favor by keeping her away from me or keeping him away from me. But what we do, we began to chase these people. We began to pursue these people. We began to text these people. Can you come back? I'm sorry, can you come back? So what does that say? That's saying that we want people in our lives more than we want source in our lives. And usually, if people not vibrating, and not usually, all the time, 100%, when you are on the way up and people are on the way down, y'all gonna separate. It's not your job to chase. It's your job to really connect to who you are as a God force entity. You cannot chase these people. You cannot want these people, period, point blank. Why? Because the nature of reality is symbiotic. You don't gotta, if the lioness want the lion, it's going to happen. If the polar bear girl want the polar bear boy, it's going to happen. It's men and women in relationships right now, happy and healthy. And if the person you with in front of you is not going to give you that type of vibration and that type of energy, be cool with letting it go. Why? Because your magnetic spiritual God force energy is going to bring about a symbiotic relationship that you don't got to beg for, that you don't got to ask for, that you don't got to plead for. It's just going to show up. Because it's already done happen in many of people's lives. So at a certain point, as spiritual beings, we may feel like we got to work so hard We got to do so much. We got to put on such a front. We got to make so much money. And if we not making the money, then spirit don't love us the same way, or all of this bullshit. And it's all bullshit. The only thing you need to fixate and understand is your bodily systems. Why? Because if your circulatory system was fucked up, it don't matter about your manifestation no more. If your respiratory system is fucked up, it does not matter about the shit that you like or the shit that you don't like or the shit that you're doing. It's book 'em, Dano. It's over for you. When your body is not in tune with your soul, fuck it all. And a lot of us spend a lot of time being under deep illusion and deep spells. My next video is going to be A Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. They clone Tyrone. I'm already got like 50 links. I'm like, damn, this video about to be like 8 hours long. But yeah, we gonna do this for the culture though. Because in reference to the Patreon $5 readings, right? One of the writers on They Clone Tyrone from USC used to get the $5 readings from the Hood Mystic on Patreon. No cap in my rap. So They Clone Tyrone, we wrote that shit. Everybody on this channel that supported this channel, that's our fucking movie. And when you watch that movie and when people loving it and they talking about it, understand it's because of the work that we fucking did on the spiritual level. Period, point blank. They Clone Tyrone, that movie is about us. So when we go through The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, we gonna explain it in more ways than one. I know the fucking writer, the producer of the movie, and I poured into this man a long time ago. And not even in no bigging myself up. I'm saying that this spiritual shit is real. We are all connected. And this is a spiritual truth. We all exist on a particular continuum. And if you don't understand this spiritual truth, guess what? You're going to be on the island by your damn self trying to figure it out. It's going to be all about you and all of the things that you got going on. All the stuff that you trying to manifest, all the stuff you trying to make happen. And at the end of the day, you're not even realizing that this is all connected. This is all one thing. Listen, you like I can't really show it or explain it, but I'll just try to say it and hopefully y'all can understand it. In Greek mythology, they talk about the Titans, and the Titans are trapped in like this cube. But all of the Titans are together, right? All of the Titans exist in one small cube. And everything that is created in our mind. Everything you experience is a hallucination. Your brain is not telling you everything that's happening. When you think you going to California, you still inside of your body. Your body is creating the illusion that you going to California. So when you say you poor, when you say that you a baby mama, when you say you can't find a man, when you say don't nobody love you, when you say you can't find a woman, when you say you broke, when you say you unhappy, you creating that reality for your damn self. There's no reason for you to feel like that when at an energetic level, we all represent the same thing. The only difference is if this person over here accepts and allows his prosperity to envelop his life and, allow him to be the best version of himself, and he follows his promptings and he ends up being successful And you say, well, I feel bad because my mama ain't shit and my daddy left me when I was a little kid. I just feel like that's fucked up. Then you gonna spend your whole time being mad at your mom and your dad while the man across the street lives the best version of himself. You hallucinate in a reality and he hallucinate in a reality, but the reality is we can all hallucinate whatever reality we fucking want. That's a spiritual truth. If you want to have a wealthy, successful life, you can create it from yourself because you are a perfect spiritual being. The issue is you don't meditate and fixate on your perfection. You meditate and fixate on your flaws, your mistakes, the things that happen, your traumas and your triggers. And even worse, you don't do shit to get over it. I grew up in the 90s. Right? I grew up with my mother and not even my mom, but it was just normal for like crackheads or people who had real bad drug problems, people who had mental health issues to go to rehab or do some inpatient, outpatient shit. Like get some fucking help, right? Motherfuckers is not doing that shit no more. Y'all motherfuckers is buying in to fake online personalities. And these fake online personalities is not even making you do no work. They taking your money, saying deuces, and they living up off of your hard work and your labor. The reality is you don't need nobody. You don't need me. You don't need nothing. All you need is to reflect on your spiritual truth of who you are as a spiritual being continuously. Never give up on it. Let it manifest, let it blossom, let it grow, develop in your perfection. Learn how perfect you are. A continuum is an exploration into the fluid dance of life as it unfolds through our being and the world around us. The first aspect of the continuum is that it is within us. And as it rests within us, it begins to create the world around us. The sun is in Cancer, okay? It is no Leo season. The energy is about movement. The energy is about dance. That is the true teacher. When we are able to understand our spiritual nature in truth by being spiritually perfect, being intuitive, acting on our intuition, it creates movement in our lives. As we move through this matrix, we learn more about who we are. If we stay to ourselves, if we don't fuck with people, if we don't put ourselves out there, if we don't believe in ourselves, if we don't understand that we are spiritually perfect, then ain't shit about to happen. If you sitting there talking to yourself, if you sitting there thinking about shit all day, ain't shit happening. That is not no movement. That is not no motion. In continuum, we take the time to slow down and tune into our internal rhythms. Take a moment and just recognize all that is going on within you. You got a lot to be happy and proud and grateful about because your heart is beating, Ashe. You are breathing. Your respiratory system, your circulatory system, your lymph nodes, your ability to waste, all of these things are happening in synchronicity. You got a lot to be grateful for, but it's easy to be a separate, autonomous, independent energy that only has its eyes fixated on the external. And you look at the external world and you see, oh my God, poverty, pain, treachery. Oh, you're doing this. Oh, you're doing that. It's up and it's down. It's left and it's right. I'm spinning around. I'm doing the goddamn hokey pokey. It's just all fucked up, right? And that's what the external world is. You going to join a cause for this. You going to join a class for this. Everybody going to be rubbing each other's asses. cool in the gang. But if you ever wanted to get into a space of perfection, it would be in this moment and what's going on inside of you right now. That beautiful heart is beating, because I'm going to tell you what, if it wasn't, it's going to be a whole different vibratory conversation that we going to be having. Probably not having a conversation at all. So when we talk about Tantra, we also are dealing with our breaths, we are dealing with our sounds, and we are dealing with our movement. Our movement come from our breath and our sounds and our intuition. When you are tuned in and tapped into your intuition, is going to tell you what to do. As a spiritual being, you are just simply to do that shit. Why? Because you are not independent. You are not autonomous. You don't do what you want to do. You follow spirit. Ones in the chat. Continuum is 3. Hylozoism is 1. We all live within a body. We all have a body. And that macrocosm continues to fold within one another. That is 2. Number 3 is that we live on a continuum. If we live on a continuum, that's like we live on a string. So you'll never see Venus saying, you know what, I'm in Cancer today, but tomorrow I feel like being in Capricorn. Fuck it. Venus is on a particular path. And if we understand that path, if we understand that cycles, we can understand a lot. When we understand our cycles and the path of our lives, and we begin to act on the path of our lives, is nothing to feel. It's nothing to think about. This is a spiritual truth. The spiritual truth is intuition. Intuition speaks. A spiritual truth is listening. When we listen to our intuition, we act. We don't stop acting, because if we don't act on our intuition, that means we are no longer living. So we are always tuned in and tapped into our intuition, period, point blank. And if we're not tuned into our intuition, our inner teacher, tuition, whether it was tuition, the shit that we pay money for school, inside of us, intuition, our inner teacher, one's in the chat, if you following me, that's the only teacher that you fucking have. And if you don't listen to yourself, your soul, who you listening to? You looking on the external world, looking for guidance, looking for teaching, and you're not going to get it. You're going to be fucked up. You're going to be hurt. You're going to be in a worse off position than you were before you was looking outside of yourself. And if only you was to begin to trust and see the perfection within yourself at a soul level, this would actually be easy for you. What I'm talking about is truth, a spiritual truth. I didn't make this shit up. It's just that I haven't been able to fixate and meditate on it long enough to be able to represent it as a full truth in my life. But guess what, y'all? I'm working on the shit. I'm working on it. I'm okay with that. So our 4th spiritual truth, and I had to actually... this is actually our 5th spiritual truth. Our 4th spiritual truth is continuum. Our 3rd spiritual truth is that we are made in the image of God. Our 2nd spiritual truth is that we live within the body. The earth is a body. The body is a body. The soul exists within the body exists within the earth exists within the universe exists within, I don't know. We'll see it in a certain point in time. We'll have a lecture on it, right? And our 1st spiritual truth is Hylozoism, the truth that everything is filled with the greatest galaxy. Everything is filled with the greatest spiritual truth. So when we begin to look at our homes and see the galaxy within our homes, we might want to clean that motherfucker up. Ones in the chat. When we start seeing the greatest galaxy within our children, we might want to love on our children a little more before whooping their ass. Ones in the chat. So let's deal with the 5th spiritual truth, that the universe operates in a series of 7. Right? We have 7 chakras. We have 7 classical planets. We have 7 major endocrine glands. In the Bible Revelation, they use the word 755 times. And so when you deal with the number 7, you're dealing with the number of spiritual organization, or the Holy Spirit, or the divine feminine, or perfection. 7 represents perfection. And I had to do a gut check on this, y'all. I had to do a gut check on this. I said, is this true? How can I know this is true? I said, Spirit said, boy, you named your son 7. Before you knew any of this shit that we talking about here, I said, Spirit, I gotta acquiesce. I gotta acquiesce. It is right and exact. The universe operates in a series of 7. I cannot lie. I cannot make it up. So what we begin to do is organize our energies in a range of 7, or we work through our 7 chakras. I cannot stress it enough. I cannot stress it enough, because when you activate through your 7 chakras, you are activating your spiritual body. When you activate your spiritual body, you are activating a heightened level of intuition. And what's important about intuition? We are learning. Why is it important to learn? Because it's not good to be ignorant. Ignorant of what? Ignorant of who we are and what we should do. When you don't know who you are and you don't know what you should do, that's a horrible feeling, family. That is a horrible feeling. One's in the chat. If you don't know who you are and you don't know what to do, that's a horrible feeling, ain't it? One's in the chat if that's a horrible feeling. But let me give you an understanding of what is a great feeling. When you know who you are and you know what it is you came here to do. And if you don't work through your 7 chakras, which are your 7 endocrine glands, and what's the importance of endocrine glands? They produce the hormones in your body. Why is that so important? Because guess what? You ever wanted to feel good, but you couldn't feel good? Where things are going around you good, but it's just not, you ain't able to feel good. Maybe something doesn't happen. Maybe you just broke up with your gal. You ever been at work, fresh off an argument with your lover, and they like, order up on number 2. You like, man, I hate this job. Always ordering up on number 2. I can't stand this job, man. Get me up out of here, man. Right? Like, damn, what's going on with goddamn Jermaine's ass? Whole problem is he love his job for real. He love having to order up on number 2. He just got into a damn argument with his gal. Meaning that when your hormones take over, because the hormones created the cortisol and all types of hormones, to whereas he had the job and they like, Jermaine, you got customers, smile. Jermaine's ass can't even smile. Because the hormones will take over your whole entire mood and vibration. So once again, it's easy to talk this spiritual talk. It's much harder to activate the hormonal rush of spiritual hormones that allow your intuition to speak larger and louder for you. Because right now, if I told y'all to reflect on some intuition, a lot of y'all wouldn't ever be able to do it. Because it'll be a whole bunch of thoughts about how you need to go to the strip club later, how you can't stand that motherfucker, how you late on your rent, how you can't do this and you can't do that, your baby daddy ain't shit, a whole bunch of thoughts that ain't got shit to do with your intuition. So it's easy to say, reflect on your intuition, believe you me. It's much harder to do the shit. So it's imperative that you work through your 7 chakras or 7 endocrine gland systems. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, get Chakra Nova. Read it, take notes, understand it, overstand it. When people get into Chakra Nova, they read it multiple times. Because the title of the damn book or subtitle, it ain't coming in clear, but you are the damn book. You're the book. Your endocrine glands is going to be the thing that makes you spiritual. How you feel about yourself, how much you know yourself, how much you have act in correspondence with your spiritual truth. Because it's real easy to say, I'm this, I'm that, I'm big, I'm black, I'm here with a gat, I'll shoot you in the back. Like, it's easy to say all this shit, and a lot of you niggas don't even own guns. So, we're not going to talk ourselves into spirituality no more. We're going to do the work, and we're going to understand that the universe operates in a series of 7 constructed out of energies which resonate to 7 qualities. Each endocrine gland creates a different quality of life and produces a different hormone that actually represents the inner reality. And if we don't fixate and focus into this inner reality, everything that we trying to do is going to be for... And like, a lot of times I be seeing shit and I just be like, whatever, right? Motherfuckers ain't trying to build no more. Motherfuckers just trying to hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta get on base, right? Sometimes you can't hit a home run. A home run is rare. Sometimes you just gotta get on base and play the game. And when you get on base and you play the game and you learn what to do, how to do it, and how to operate in this particular matrix, it makes this shit a lot easier for you. One of the best books I can recommend to understand the science of 7 is The Revelation of St. John. I'm looking at it right now. I was going to show it to y'all, but the cover is ripped off. I've been reading that book too much. The Revelation of St. John by Zachary Lansdowne will help you understand the power of 7 and how it resonates. He deals with a lot of science in this book. So you got an appendix that's out of this world. So Zachary Lansdowne, The Revelation of St. John. I've been talking about this book for a very, very long time. Spiritual truth number 6. This is something that everybody must understand, overstand, and understand about the world that they live in, or it will fuck their life up. The material world is an illusion. It is a part of Maya. All energy is manifesting to be a physical thing. All physical things are decaying to become energy. Energy and matter are completely interchangeable. When we fixate on the matter of things, we forget about the energy of things, but the matter does not create the energy. The energy creates the matter. The matter decays into energy. That's a very big, major distinction. So when we deal with our spiritual truth, we cannot be fixated on the material world as it stands. The material world is Maya. The material world is an illusion. The material world is a hallucination that you are creating in your mind. When you begin to do inner work, you begin to create a different reality for yourself. The problem is you can create a fucked up world or you can create a perfect world. Understanding your 7 spiritual truths assists you in creating a perfect world. One's in the chat. If you want to create a perfect world for yourself, press 1 in the chat. And although we may think we are physical beings moving through a physical world, this is too an illusion. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are not moving through a physical world because the physical world is an illusion. Your body is an illusion that you have created, is an avatar that you have selected for this game called life. And the game that you are playing is the game that you are emoting and feeling. If you know that this world is an illusion, why are you so mad about your baby dad? Explain this to me. If you know this world is an illusion, why are you so mad that your dad didn't raise you when you was growing up? If you know this world is illusion, why are you so concerned as if he cheating on you or if she cheating on you or not? If you know this world is an illusion, probably you don't know that this world is an illusion. You think all that you experience is real. You don't experience nothing that's real. It's all anecdotal. I can choose to believe you or not. You ever told somebody the truth and they said, man, I don't know what the fuck you even talking about. That ain't true. That ain't real. You like, I fucking synced it. Nah, man, that can't ever even happen. So you the crazy one. 10 times out of 10, you probably is crazy. Why? Because this world is an illusion. This is a spiritual truth. It's not something that I'm making up. The only issue with you understanding that this world is an illusion is because you haven't understood it, overstood it, you haven't meditated on it, you haven't fixated on this spiritual truth. Everything you look out in the external world is not even fucking there. If it was real, then the same thing, what we imagine to be real is like something that is real and tangible. 10 years ago, it was real to you. Reproduce it right now. You can't, because it was an illusion the whole time. What you experiencing right now, it feels real to you. Fast forward 10 years from now, you're going to be in a whole completely different situation than you is right now. Period, point blank. Now you can choose to go upward with the energy, or you can choose to go downward with the energy. What fucking game you want to play in this goddamn game of life? Do you want to have a fucked up life, or do you want to have a good life? I want to have a good life, but I don't know how to have a good life. How do I have a good life? You meditate and you fixate on your spiritual perfection till it starts to make sense to you. You haven't believed it long enough for it to happen instantly. So you might have to give it some time, but if you give it enough time, a spiritual truth is a spiritual truth. We are receivers floating through a kaleidoscopic sea of frequency, and what we attract from this sea and transforms into this physical reality is but one channel from many that could be extracted out the hologram. Listen, you could be a stripper. You could be the first spiritual stripper. You could be on Instagram shaking your ass every damn day. And I'm talking to the men. I'm not even talking to the ladies. Nigga, you can be a stripper. You could be a burlesque dancer. You could play little league football or semi-pro football. You could be a doctor, a nurse. You could do cartwheels. You could do anything you fucking want to do. When you are understanding the inner processes of life, the inner creates the outer. What you see for yourself is what you will create for yourself. This is a world filled with billions of people who do not know that human beings are the gods. Because who else is there? Who else can be the gods? The lions, the tigers, the bears, oh my? Or is it the human beings? Is it the knowledge of self? Is it like, what is it? It is when you do your spiritual work, then you begin to get your intuition, and then you begin to do the things for which your spirit has lined out for you. And that's right for you. If it's right for you, you're going to do it. If it's wrong for you, you're not going to do it. This is life. And everything that you see of, hey man, you got to do this, and black people, we need to come together, or Jim Crow, or 1940s oppression, the white people, the black people, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, fight for your rights, civil rights, human rights, LGBTQ. It's all an illusion. The only thing matters is what you got going on right the fuck now. Because a lot of these motherfuckers is NPCs, non-playable characters. If you got a soul in this day and age, it's about time you begin to work with it. Man, it's so cringy how people be just really tapped into what's going on social media and wanting to get a BBL or wanting to live a lifestyle, but not wanting to do no fucking spiritual work. The Revelation of St. John by Zachary Lansdowne. The material world is Maya and is an illusion. That is our sixth spiritual truth. If you look at the physical world and it's real to you, you are in a spiritual lie or an actual lie, and it's not going to be real tomorrow. The same things that's real today is not going to be real tomorrow. The same things that was real 100 years ago is not real today. The same things that was real 1,000 years ago is for sure not real today. And the things that are real today are not real today. It was fake then, it's fake now, it's always going to be fake. The only thing is real is the energy that you are. If you can reflect on that energy, you might as well do that shit right now. So here we go with our 7th spiritual law, spiritual truth. There is no death. There's only a change of energy. When you are born on this earth, this wasn't your first incarnation on this earth. You had a previous life existence. Zachary Lansdowne. There you go. There you go. It's in the chat now. As a spiritual being, you can never die. Your human life is fleeting and is temporary, but your spiritual truth is ancient. One's in the chat. If your spiritual reality, who you are as a spiritual being, is an ancient truth. Your body is a new invention. Your body will come and go. What will remain is you, who you are spiritually. The key to life is to not get fixated on the body consciousness. What's going on with your family? What's going on with your health? I mean, not your health. Your health is important. What's going on with the people? What's going on social media? What's going on with him, her? What's going on at the club? Things of that nature. That's the issue. When we so caught up in what's going on outside of us, and of course, we can love a person and they transition. It don't even be about them no more. It be all about you. Ones in the chat. Motherfuckers be like, oh my God, I lost them. I lost her. I'm so sad. Feel sorry for me. You don't even care about that person that transition. You out here looking for clout. Ones in the chat. How many times y'all done seen somebody who have lost somebody, then flip it and use that for some clout? So you can begin to, can y'all just pay for my GoFundMe? Something bad has happened to me, right? And no shade, no judgment, right? Because anything can happen for any of us, even me. But at the same time, the spiritual truth is the fucking spiritual truth. Your grandma did not fucking die. Period. The one that you love so much, that transition, only transition to another form of energy. That's the truth. Sitting here crying about the loss of something that haven't even been lost. In Hindu mythology, in the fucking Bible, in all spiritual texts, it talk about the process of the soul and reincarnation, and how when you incarnate in this body, you have a soul. Those who have eyes can see, those who have ears can listen, because guess what? Everybody don't got no fucking soul. So you gotta be real careful with who you mate with, who you create with, because at the end of the day, if we talk about intuition and all of these chakra work and all of this stuff, and they not, even if they do everything they supposed to do, they don't even have the spiritual components that you have, you're gonna be out here looking silly. So the reality of the spiritual life, the reality of this spiritual work is that, yeah, it ain't for every fucking body, right? And I don't know if y'all seen The Watchmen, where they was talking about, he was asking the dad, like, what happened to the sheriff after he died? Nothing. That nigga dead. Ain't nothing happening. As a spiritual being, the reason why you catching hell, the reason why don't nobody like you, the reason why you don't got no friends, the reason why your money funny, the reason why your change is strange is because your ass live forever and your ass don't even realize that shit. These motherfuckers be like, white people this, white people that. What you even talking about, fam? You got an immortal soul. This person rich. I'm poor. What are you even talking about, fam? Your soul is immortal. Death can't even fucking stop you, fam. What the fuck is you even talking about right now? The lack of understanding of spiritual truths will be the reason why 100% of motherfuckers is going to crash out. The reason why a lot of people is going to crash out, there is no death. Death doesn't exist. There's only life. There's only existence. There's only breath. And even when we transition, our soul continues. Very important to understand this spiritual truth. Be sure to look forward to more videos like this as I begin to take my spiritual journey seriously. If I haven't taken it, every day I wake up and I try to go deeper into my journey. I try to act like I've never did no spiritual work ever before. And I'm just looking at this information as if I'm looking at it for the first time. But usually within my conversation is a lot of gnosis and a lot of healing in it because I've actually looked at this shit thousands of times. So with that being said, I'm here for the awakening. I'm here for the source. I'm here for the connection. I'm here for the energy. And I'm not here for the bullshit. I'm not here for the clout. I'm not here to get patted on the back. At the end of the day, I took notes. You should take notes because our brain is a container, not a library. One's in the chat. Our brain is a container, not a library. You don't remember things in your mind. You remember things on paper. One's on the chat, because if you ever went to somewhere where some business was taking place and they like, what you wanted, what you need, okay, that'll be, yeah, it's all in my head, I got it. You like, nah, mug, I want to see what that shit is. Like, I want to see, like, you be looking at the register, you be looking at the receipt. None of that shit exists in your head. When you doing business, you got to put that shit down on paper. What we doing here today, we doing spiritual business, okay? So once again, I got to get to what I need to get to. Got some readings to do today. About to hit those up, and hopefully y'all stay tuned, tap into the Substack. Got another article dropping tomorrow. That article is called "It's All Right to Be Rich," right? If you wanna, if you feel like it's all right for you to be rich, put a 1 in the chat. As we get up out of here, y'all got any questions, any concerns, any comments before I get up out of here? I'm going once, going twice, going 3 times. No, for real, I gotta get up out of here. I got shit to do, but I'll be back on the flip side. Thank y'all for tapping in. Much love for y'all. Peace, peace, peace.
They ain't rooting for me, they ain't clapping for me. I'm only saying, can somebody just be happy for me? I really hate to say I told you so I bite my tongue, but you know.
Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now. Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. You are now tapped